A putrid stench slams into the noses of travelers on the Florida highway, a grim warning from the realm of the dead. It rises from somewhere deep within the dense forest lining the road, a shadowy abyss hiding a horrific secret. The deeper you venture, the more suffocating the stench of death becomes, choking every sense, a harbinger of a terrifying truth awaiting discovery. And then, that truth unveils itself. A body is found face down in the forest, blood staining the earth in a grotesque crimson pool. The victim, a white man, abandoned to a cold, lonely demise. When the corpse is turned over, the name Troy is revealed, stitched boldly on the right pocket of his shirt. It could be the identity of this ill-fated soul, a name matching a man reported missing just days before. An autopsy uncovers the brutal reality: his skull shattered by a single shot from a .22 caliber pistol, a fatal blow that ended his existence. Troy's car is later discovered, stripped bare of anything valuable, as if the killer craved not just his life but every trace of his being. As police scramble to unravel the mystery of Troy's death, darkness strikes again. Another body surfaces in Marion County, Florida, sprawled lifeless by the roadside, nearly swallowed by the wild, untamed weeds. The victim is Charles, 56, a former Alabama sheriff, a man of a storied past, now reduced to a bloodied shell. It seems he fought desperately to escape, his body riddled with bullet wounds stretching across him like a map of despair. 7 shots in total tore through him, and the weapon, once again, a .22 caliber pistol, the same harbinger of doom that claimed Troy. Even more chilling, the bullets in both cases bear the same deadly signature. Unlike Troy, though, Charles's car is nowhere to be found. The savagery of the attack is unrelenting, as if the killer unleashed a torrent of rage upon their prey, leaving a haunting question: who is behind these atrocities? 2 murders, 2 middle-aged men, both gunned down with multiple shots from the same weapon. The police begin to see a horrifying pattern. This is no coincidence, it's the mark of a predator. They dig into unsolved murders across Central Florida, and the truth sends ice through their veins. 3 more cases bear the same ghastly traits. What is happening? Who wields this .22 caliber gun, targeting middle-aged men and sowing death along these roads? I am Wind, and you're listening to Mystic Echoes, where the darkest mysteries come to light. The scenes of the remaining 3 murders only deepen the nightmare. Richard, another victim, slain in a neighboring county. His car's contents, a radar detector and a 35mm camera, vanished without a trace. Then there's David, found naked near a highway in another Florida district, as if death stripped him of both life and dignity. And finally, Charles, 40 years old, his body wrapped in a rotting blanket, pierced by 9 bullets. All these victims, white, middle-aged men, share a grim fate, killed while driving alone on Central Florida highways, each felled by that merciless .22 caliber gun. A chilling detail emerges: the driver's seats in every victim's car are bolted upright to their fullest extent, despite these men standing between 5 feet 10 inches and 6 feet 5 inches. No one could drive in such a position, a clue that the killer staged the scenes. This revelation sparks a memory of another case in Orange Springs. A car is found, its owner, Peter, a middle-aged man, still missing. Its driver's seat, too, is locked upright, though Peter's body remains lost to the void. Witnesses, however, recall seeing 2 women emerge from that car, one short and stocky, the other taller, with shoulder-length blonde hair, a scar on her forehead, and blood staining her frame. From these accounts, police sketch portraits of 2 female suspects, though they hesitate to label them killers or mere thieves. Yet with 5 bodies and 1 man unaccounted for, the likelihood of a serial killer on the loose is undeniable. The murder weapon is identified: a copper-plated .22 caliber pistol firing hollow-point rounds, its barrel rifling twisting the bullets rightward upon impact. This small, concealable gun suggests the killer might be slight of build, lacking brute strength. All clues point to a staggering theory: the murderer is a woman. Weeks later, Charles's car turns up, a receipt tucked beneath the driver's seat bearing the name of a truck stop in Wynwood, Florida. Police swarm the location, but the staff deny ever seeing Charles. When shown the sketches of the two women, however, a clerk's eyes widen. She recognizes them. They'd stopped by to buy supplies, their disheveled appearance making them unforgettable. The police are now certain these women are tied to Charles's death. But as they hunt, a seventh murder erupts, mocking their every move. Walter, the next victim, is slaughtered in Dicey County. His car is recovered, its license plate torn off, the driver's seat rammed upright, and the killer's tool remains that cursed .22 caliber gun. The murderer abandons the victim's cars along the roads, taunting the law with impunity. The investigation presses on, but it can't match the killer's relentless pace. With no other choice, police release the sketches to the press, praying it will sharpen the public's vigilance. The response is immediate. Over 400 tips flood the task force. Among them, four stand out with vivid detail, all pointing to two names: Tyra Moore and Lee, her girlfriend. Tyra fits the stocky suspect, Lee, the taller blonde. A detective in Port Orange soon reports a confidential tip. The pair are holed up at a motel along Florida's coast. Police descend on the site, where the owner confirms they're regulars, always booking room 8. The blonde, Lee, signs in under the alias Camille, a name borrowed from an innocent woman, used to mask her true identity. Suspecting the killer pawned the victim's stolen goods, police uncover 2 receipts under Camille, listing items that perfectly matched the missing possessions. In Florida back then, pawnshops required fingerprints, and those prints lead to a name: Aileen Wuornos, a woman once arrested for illegal firearms but who slipped through the cracks. Alongside Tyra Moore, her lover, they are now the hunted. The search shifts to Florida's notorious party districts, a 9-day and night manhunt. At last, in a seedy bar, they spot Aileen alone, Tyra nowhere in sight. An undercover cop, Mike, poses as a drifter and approaches her. She downs beers like water, friendly at first, but liquor unleashes her ferocity. Without warning, she swings a cue stick into Mike's back, dropping him to his knees. As he rises, she lunges, throttling him in a fit of rage. Mike knows, one wrong move, and he'll be her 8th kill. Aileen invites him to another bar, but it's the opening police need. A SWAT team encircles the place while Mike wires himself with a listening device. Their conversation drags on. She gripes about money, then softens, saying Mike's her type. She mentions Tyra, who just left her after 5 years, tears streaming as she mourns. Seizing the moment, Mike feigns a bathroom break, signaling the team to storm in and arrest her. Lacking direct proof of murder, they nab Aileen on her prior weapons charge. In the squad car, Mike probes her, but she's a stone wall, denying everything. Without a confession, the case teeters on collapse. Tyra becomes the linchpin. She's the only one who can crack Aileen. Luck strikes the next day. A tip leads to Tyra's arrest in Pennsylvania, and she's hauled back to Florida. Terrified of being charged as an accomplice, Tyra spills everything. She met Aileen at a gay bar in South Daytona, living together for 4 years, lovers turned sisters. One day, Aileen rolled up in a Cadillac, confessing she'd shot a man dead, Richard, the first victim. Tyra dismissed it as a lie until the news confirmed it. Too scared to snitch, she now trades her story for immunity. Police set Tyra up in a hotel, dialing Aileen. Sobbing, Tyra begs her to keep her out of it. Aileen, driven by love, vows to take the fall. An hour later, she summons the jail staff, ready to confess. Voice trembling, she admits, "I was drunk, hooking to survive, and I killed them. They were evil, out to hurt, beat, or rape me. It was self-defense." But 7 deaths aren't self-defense, it's the wrath of a demon unleashed. To grasp her true motive, we must unearth Aileen Wuornos' past. Born in Rochester, Michigan, to a broken home, her mother wed at 15, her father a child-abusing convict who died behind bars. Abandoned by her mom, Aileen was raised by a grandfather who beat and raped her from age 9. By 11, she traded sex for cigarettes, drugs, even with her own brother. At 15, raped and pregnant, she birthed a child alone, gave it away, and was cast out to live in the woods. Her life spiraled into prostitution, theft, and murder. A hellish childhood forged a sociopath brimming with hatred for men, echoes of her tormentors. Diagnosed with borderline and antisocial personality disorders, she saw threats in every shadow. At trial, her lawyer claimed Richard, her first kill, had a rapist's history, but the judge dismissed it. Aileen was sentenced to death for that murder, then racked up 5 more, 6 death sentences in all. After years of appeals, she demanded execution, living's pointless. I'd kill again, there's too much rage, too much hate in me. On October 9, 2002, Aileen Wuornos was put down by lethal injection, ending the reign of America's first female serial killer, a specter forever haunting Florida's highways.